This animal, swimming in the open sea, is a turtle. It is a loggerhead sea turtle, the most common turtle in the Mediterranean Sea. Life for this species is not easy. Because of the threats and dangers it faces, it is considered one of the most vulnerable animals in the world. To understand how it lives means a step in the direction of its preservation.
Marine turtles are a charismatic species, so they have a really complex life history, and there are many things that we can do in order to somehow collect information and use this information afterwards in order to protect them in the most efficient way.
What do we know about sea turtles? The loggerhead sea turtle is a reptile, just like this one. It's well adapted to life in the water. This turtle lives most of the time in the open sea, except for nesting and hatching. It lives in a protected shell, the carapace. Looking at the carapace, we can identify the species. The shape and the position of the scales vary from one species to another, and the 5 species of sea turtles living in the Mediterranean each have a totally different carapace. The most common are the loggerhead turtle, the green turtle, the leatherback turtle, as well as the rare hawksbill and Kemp's Ridley turtles. The turtle is not a fast animal, but its life is not sedentary. It loves to move, and its movements are surprising. This map shows the migration of a loggerhead turtle for 1 year. Why a turtle swims for so many miles is difficult to know. Looking for food, to lay eggs, or maybe to find warmer waters. We know one thing for sure. The distribution map tells us that the loggerhead turtle likes to live in areas where there are few humans, especially during nesting season. The turtle lays its eggs on sandy beaches, and human activities, especially tourism, are a problem and a threat. It's becoming harder and harder for a turtle to find a suitable beach considering the coastal development along the Mediterranean. Monitoring nesting sites helps us to understand better these animals and how to protect them.
One of the first things that we have to do is focus our monitoring and conservation efforts on the nesting sites of sea turtles. Nowadays we know almost the majority of the major nesting sites in the Mediterranean, and there are also many monitoring programs running in these sites. So
the nesting process is complicated. First, the females will spend a few days in warm, shallow waters before laying their eggs. Second, when they land on the beach, with great difficulty, they lay up to 200 eggs, which have the size of a ping pong ball. Third, they cover the eggs carefully to guarantee a constant hatching temperature and to protect the eggs from predators. Finally, when the operation is completed, they return to the sea.
So the first thing we have to do is go on the nesting environment and try to protect the species as long as they go out from the water and lay their eggs.
When the eggs hatch, the turtle's life begins, and the first steps, those that separate the nest from the sea, are full of dangers, a foreshadow of what their future at sea will be.
Of course, we should not stop there. We have to move to and try to follow the animals. There are several different techniques like tagging satellite information. And we have to follow the animals through their migratory routes when they return to their foraging areas.
To monitor this species is hard work, but fundamental to its preservation. The turtle is an endangered animal for many reasons, mostly due to invasive human activities that impact their lives and habitat. What are the major threats? In the Mediterranean Sea, many thousands of sea turtles die each year because of accidental catching by fisheries, or are mutilated due to collisions with boats. At times, sea turtles get confused and eat plastic bags, as they look like jellyfish. Eggs and the adults are still harvested for meat and fashion goods. Last but not least, climate change may modify the sex ratio, which is the proportion of males to females in a population. How do we preserve this species? Preservation means knowledge. Studying sea turtles is essential to their conservation, but also for our role on Earth. Humans still have a card to play. That is to follow the principles of the ecosystem approach, involving policy, economy, science, and citizen communities. Through which tools? Using monitoring programs in order to achieve the good environmental status of the Mediterranean Sea.